Okay, where was I? A lot of the bolts on here are going to be very tight so that, so that I don't have to fight the motor moving on the garage floor while I'm trying to loosen these incredibly tight bolts, since I don't have air tools or impact tools yet. I might before this project is over. But anyway, because I don't have all that, I'm going to go ahead and loosen as much as I can on the bike while the motor is still mounted in the frame. It's going to make my life a lot simpler, I hope. As you can see here, there's the motor. It's pretty much ready to drop, save 3 bolts that are holding it up. There's a few special tools that I'm supposed to have to do this. I'm probably going to pull the motor and take it to the dealer and let them do it, just because I don't want to spend $450 for 3 tools. That's right, 3 tools. There's a tool, if you look here, the head is kind of different than most motorcycles. You can, let me see if I can get it in here where I can show you. I think you can see it right in there. Yeah, right there. That's the head nut, or head bolt. Those are obviously very tight, no clearance, no room to turn, can't do anything like that. It's kind of hard to get to. The tool that Ducati sells to get in there and do that's $145. I need a separate tool, which is more universal, to hold the center bolt, or the center nut on the clutch for the flywheel housing and the clutch basket there. Once I get the clutch out, that tool's another $150. So that's why I say I may just drop the motor and take it to the dealer and say, I want you to pop this, and this loose and pay him an hour worth of labor and be done with it. And it'll be cheaper than all the tools. So anyway, that's where we're at. We're going to start dismantling the motor on the bike. One thing that I recommend you do, and I have somewhere around here, whatever, oh there it is, right down there. You will want, sorry about that, I'm doing this with one hand. You'll want a Sharpie. Along with the Sharpie, you're going to want Ziploc bags, big ones. The reason for this is so that when you pull something off the bike, you put it in a bag and you label it. Including, if you pull the clutch cover off, you put the bolts that held the clutch cover on in the bag. When you pull the transmission out, all the clips, the rings, the gears, the shaft, all of that stuff, the dogs, all of that goes in the bag. Now the reason for this is, if you've never had a motorcycle engine apart before, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you're going to look at and go, what in the heck is that? Trust me, I've had a 4-cylinder engine apart off my old G6R. I used the Ziploc bag method, and when I put it back together, it started up on the first try. So even though I understand mechanics and I know what goes where, how, and I know how it's put together, it's still a good idea. Plus it also helps you keep track of things. You're more likely to not lose anything, which is key. Especially when you're talking about engine internals, things get expensive quickly. Lose a gear on a transmission, you're out $200. Easy. So yeah, don't lose parts. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and start unbolting some things, and I'll be back in a bit. One other thing I want to mention while I'm doing this, when you pull the bolts out of the various cases, lay them down on the ground, kind of in a similar fashion to the way they came off the bike. That way you can tell if any of the bolts are longer than other locations or shorter, either way. Because sometimes they go through oil galleys, they go through coolant galleys, and you don't want to put a too short bolt in a hole right there. See? Perfect example. That's why you do that. I'm glad that one came out like this so that I could illustrate that point. This is also the trademark Ducati dry clutch. Excuse me. Sounds like a gumball machine. Sounds like somebody put 25 cents in the ride and didn't get it back. You know, whatever. Take your pick. There's all kinds of euphemisms for the noisy Ducati clutches. Just like that.